All right, so ready to dive into Get Active. Your body needs you.
Let's do it.
We're talking classic Aussie advice here, folks. This book's by Bob Lloyd, longtime PE teacher and coach, and it's all about getting active.
And don't worry, we're not going to be like training for a marathon by the end of this.
Definitely not.
This is about those simple, practical choices anyone can make.
Exactly, just to live a healthier life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting how Lloyd frames this whole idea of like being an active person. It's not just, are you athletic or not? It's this whole mindset you can cultivate.
I like that active person as a mindset. He actually has, like, a self-assessment scale.
He does, from 0 to 10.
0 to 10. Ooh, where do you think you'd land?
I don't know, it'd be interesting to think about.
Yeah, good starting point for some self-reflection. Before we even get into, like, what to DO, just kind of see where you're at.
Totally.
So, okay, his core message, though, is surprisingly simple when you get down to it.
It is.
It's all about giving daily attention to just 4 things.
4 key areas.
Aerobic activity, exercise, diet, and leisure time.
He really breaks it down well.
And his argument is, if you focus on these, anyone can see, huge improvements in their health and well-being.
Makes sense, right?
It does. So when he says aerobic activity, though, is he talking like 5 days a week at the gym? Because that's kind of intimidating.
No, not at all. He actually stresses finding activities you actually like.
Okay, good.
Things that get your heart rate up, make you sweat a bit. That could be like dancing, gardening, a brisk walk.
Yeah.
It's broader than people think.
Okay, so finding activities we like. But even then, right, like finding the time can feel impossible.
For sure.
I've totally used the, not enough time excuse.
Classic.
But Lloyd's like, come on, even 30 minutes.
He's big on that.
5 times a week, that's it. That's all you need.
It can make a huge difference, he says.
Right. And he has that point of 30 minutes is only 2% of your day.
It puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
When you think about it that way.
Yeah, instead of this big, overwhelming thing.
It's manageable.
Exactly. He actually addresses that head on in the book, saying we all get those 24 hours.
We do.
Nobody's got more than that.
Right.
But he's like, really examine your schedule.
Oh, interesting.
Could you walk during your lunch break? Could you maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier a couple times a week?
Yeah, that's always the tough one.
Right. But often we do have more time. It's just about, are we choosing to use it in a way that benefits us?
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Because it's not about, magically having more hours in the day.
Nope.
It's about those choices we're making.
100%.
Okay, but what about, because I've used this excuse too, the exercise is boring excuse.
And for sure.
I know I should, but ugh.
Yeah, it feels like a chore.
It does. What does Lloyd say about that?
Okay, so he has some fun suggestions, actually. First, he's like, think back to what you loved as a kid. Did you ride bikes, swim, team sports?
Yeah, it was all about the slip and slide.
There you go. So tap back into that. Or he even says, music, podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Distractions.
Make it enjoyable, not a chore.
That's where the leisure time thing probably comes in.
Exactly. It's not all regimented. It's about moving your body in ways that feel good.
Which ties into, he had that whole fair dinkum Aussie spirit concept.
Yes. It's more than just being active. It's about having these positive values and then connecting with your community.
So how does he connect that to being healthy? What does that even mean practically?
Mm-hmm.
So how does he connect that to being healthy? What does that even mean practically?
So he defines it as being respectful, responsible, honest, caring, friendly, qualities that build a strong community, but it's more than just words, right?
Right, yeah.
He ties those values directly to live in a healthier, more active life.
Okay, I'm seeing.
Being responsible.
Yeah.
That might mean meal prepping on Sundays so you don't just grab takeout because you're tired. Or caring. Maybe you cook a healthy meal for a friend who's going through a rough time. It's that our well-being connected to how we treat others,
It's holistic, like you were saying. Not just crunches at the gym, but how we act day to day.
Exactly. And it's in those little things Lloyd's always on about, supporting local businesses.
Yeah, he's big on that.
Spending time in nature, even just saying day to your neighbors. Those little connections all add up, he says.
It's funny because we kind of know this stuff deep down, but life gets busy,
It does. And speaking of simple but important, he's got this thing, the compound effect.
Okay, what's that?
Basically, those small, consistent things you do over time. Huge results.
Like what?
He compares it to, putting a few bucks in savings every week.
Right. Doesn't seem like much at first.
Exactly. But eventually, That's your wealth building, slow and steady. Same with health.
So it's not the crash diet, it's the, good habits for life.
Exactly. And he leaves us with this crazy stat. If everyone lived an active lifestyle, it could add 8 years to the average lifespan.
Get out of here. 8 years.
No joke. He's saying that's DOEBLE. The impact of finding a cure for cancer, just to put it in perspective.
Wow. Okay, so this is why we deep dive into this stuff. It's not just about how our pants fit. It's literally life or death, but in a good way.
Right. Like, we have some agency here. This book ain't just about getting active. It's about a richer, more fulfilling life overall.
Love that. So listeners, as we wrap up, get active. Your body needs you. What's one small change you're inspired to try? More movement, ditching the sugary drinks, maybe just calling up a friend. Those little things add up, just like Bob Lloyd taught us. Until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep those records spinning.